Hey, try that again. Hey, welcome back to my channel. How are we all? Sorry, something made a noise in the background, distracted me. How are we? I thought I would make a video today. I'm thinking of making it a midweek and end week sort of thing, so Wednesday and Sunday to a week. Let me know what you think about that. Yeah. Update for the week. Said I'd try something new every day. So I had a go at songwriting. And most of you that know me know that I do the singing and not the writing. Which was interesting. Something quite exciting has happened and come of it actually. I can't really disclose any information because I'm not sure if it's going to go anywhere, but it looks like it could, so it's quite exciting. I also made like a few voice clips for this audition in Lancaster. It's for the Snow Queen. It's unlikely to go anywhere, I just did it for fun. Obviously with COVID going on, I can't really travel to the northwest, and it takes place over one of my mum's birthdays, so I kind of just did it to see if it would get anywhere, because if you don't try, you don't really know what you can do, really, can you? Yeah, I thought I'd do a little update, and this video is going to be about body image, predominantly my experiences with it, so a bit like what I did on TikTok, but it's going to be a much more in-depth version, and also how I'm coping now, how I think lockdown is affecting it, and other influences such as social media, yeah, that sort of thing. If there's any thing that anyone would like me to add after I've done the video, then please do comment it below, or message me on Instagram. My username is in the comments. It's e_Stan22. Yeah, I understand that this is quite a sensitive topic. It is a difficult one to talk about. It's going to be quite a long video, so I apologise for those of you that don't like long videos. Sorry I'm taking up your day. But yeah, it's a good discussion. I think it's very important, so do stick around for it. And yeah, without further ado, here we go. So a good place for me to start would be with my childhood. So I was always the chubby child. Yeah, I was like the nerdy chubby friend, kind of just knuckled down with work. I was teased, had the nickname Pork Chop at one point. I think my real issue with body image, because when I was younger I didn't really care that I was an overweight child. I thought it was cool for some reason. Like, I kind of owned it. I thought, like, you know, made me unique, which it did. But I think when I first realised it might actually be a problem, or like, not a problem, but like affect me in later life, was when I had a crush on a popular person in my class. Bearing in mind I was like, what, 9, 10? And I was basically told that the popular person will never go for the fat one, the fat girl, just because of how their friends would look at them and judge them for it. So I think, even though it didn't really, I mean, it upset me, but even though it didn't really affect me then, I think subconsciously that's when things started to spiral in that sort of direction. So I basically just got bigger and bigger going into secondary school, and by the time I was 14, I think I was about a dress size 18 to 20, about 14 and a half stone, and I was really unhealthy. Like, I'm not saying like any sizes, like it's more about what you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter what size you are. You could be a size 8, you could be a size 24, like as long as you're comfortable and you're happy with yourself and your body, it shouldn't matter. It was more the fact that I was getting really uncomfortable with the way people looked at me, the things that were stopping me. Like, I was jealous of all of my friends that could wear what they wanted without feeling self-conscious, and eat what they want without feeling like they were being judged for being the fat person that sat there eating. So I know I had a holiday coming up that year, and whenever I would look back at my holiday photos, even though I was young, I hated it. Like, I hated seeing my stomach, everything. It was the worst thing. And looking back on them now, I find it really hard to look at it. And again, it's not because of my size, it's because of the way I felt being that size. I wasn't comfortable. So yeah, I joined Slimming World, which was my mum's idea. I didn't think it would work because I like carbs, I like cake, I like chocolate. I don't like exercise anyway. And yeah, I was sneaking food quite a lot at night, which wasn't a good idea. It wasn't affecting me in a good way. But yeah, I actually managed to lose half a stone in 3 weeks, and when I realised it was working, I actually felt more comfortable. I actually went out and I lost the dress size before my holiday, so I was really happy, because it was kind of like I was being enlightened that I don't have to be unhappy. And with that in mind, I went on holiday, and I actually enjoyed my holiday more. And I wore things that I never thought I could kind of pull off. So I kind of stuck at that for, I think it was a year or two. And I got down probably about 12 stone, 11 stone maybe. I got down to about a size 10 to 12, so I was loving life. But then I quit Slimming World when I had to start like paying myself. I didn't have a job, I was skint, like that wasn't gonna happen. So I had to get up on myself, and I was doing food tech at the time, so I learned calories in, calories out. The less you eat, the more you burn. That's it, you lose weight. And I was like, oh, this is easy. So I started to monitor, and I started to monitor my calories, how much I was burning. I was getting fit, I was eating healthier. And I think when people realised that I'd actually lost weight was when I went to my year 11 prom. And I had a bit of a Hermione moment, as people called it. I went in this like fitted dress, whereas I was used to wearing my horrible school uniform with like this massive blouse and baggy blazer and all that. And it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of surreal, really, to have that moment. But I did start to become obsessed with my weight and the way I looked. At that point, I was physically fit. I was quite muscular. Obviously, I wanted to carry on with it and see how far I could go, but that's where I managed to take it too far. So I came I became obsessed with counting my calories. I kind of would punish myself. If I ate over my recommended calories, I would exercise until I'd burnt them off. And I just kept at this. I stopped myself from eating what I wanted. This kind of really came into effect before I went to Cuba, which was in 2018, but I was 17 at the time. And yeah, I started to really, really drastically lower my calories to like 800 a day, that sort of thing. And because I got used to it, I wasn't as hungry. I can't see. I'm trying to sit here and I can't actually see. Yeah, so I kind of just like, I let it take control of my life. It got to a point where I was looking in the mirror like every half an hour if I had the chance, if there was a mirror there. I would weigh myself like 6 times a day. And even if I was hungry, I'd be like, no, I can't eat. Because if I eat, I'm going to get fat. I'm going to put on weight. I don't want to put on weight. And this fear got installed in me of gaining weight, which I do still struggle with it. Like, I would hate, which is bad, but I would hate to get back to anywhere near what I used to be. I was so unhappy, and I don't know, it's like I wasn't so unhappy, but I was so unhappy because I went on holiday and it sounds like really cringy, but I got to wear a bikini for the first time happily. Like, I went out and I actually got like the good attention. I wasn't being judged for being the big girl that's like in a swim costume. It's like, oh my God, I was actually being looked at for the right reason. And that shouldn't even have been a factor of my happiness. Like, I shouldn't have let other people's views of me influence how I felt. And the pictures I look back, I had a ridiculous, I'd pile my hair up in a bun. I still do it now, but like when I'm at home. And again, the people that know me, if you're watching this from secondary school, you know that I used to put my hair up on my head like that and put a bandana around it. So I do that on holiday, but it was really messy and it looks like I've got a mushroom on my head. So that's the reason I don't like those holiday photos. But yeah, I had a banging tan. I was skinny. I had abs because I was working out. I even worked out on holiday. Like, I was fine. I was like a size 8 to 10 by then. Mainly an 8, to be honest. Most of my clothes ended up being an 8. The one thing that did upset me though is my boobs got smaller. I had a lot of padded bikinis because of that. That's one downfall for me then. But yeah, but as soon as I came off holiday, that was it. That is when it majorly went downhill. I became way more obsessed with food and calories than I was before. I would go into work one week and then the next week people would be like, have you lost weight? It was happening that quickly. Especially when I joined college. I joined musical theatre and I did it for 6 weeks, and in those 6 weeks I bought 3 different sizes of clothes. It was literally like every 2 weeks I was going to Primark and I got down to a size 4. It was where I was dancing so much, but I felt like I wasn't burning enough calories for the food I wanted to eat, and so I just basically didn't eat. I was still eating around 800 calories, if that, whilst burning like 2,500 because I was dancing, and I had no energy. I was dizzy all the time. I was ill. I went to a wedding actually, and people said to me like, "Are you okay? Like, you're literally a skeleton." I got nicknamed Lollipop Head by my mum because, as you can see, I've got a big head. But because I got a big head and I was really skinny, it was like, I looked like a chubba chub. It was ridiculous. But again, I still thought I was too overweight. I had really bad body dysmorphia. I genuinely thought that I looked like a whale. I was so unhappy with the way I looked. It was horrendous. And when I got into TV and film acting, it made it even worse because I thought I looked really fat on screen. The whole the camera had 10 pound thing, I thought I did about 30 stone. It was it wasn't great. I mean, I'm laughing while I'm saying it, and it's just it's because I don't know, I was just being blind, I guess. Sorry, there was a horse running across in front of me and it distracted me. But yeah, I think my lowest point with that was it was probably either my birthday or Boxing Day, something like that, because I couldn't even, and Christmas Day, because I couldn't even enjoy them, because I was just, it was like, you know, on those days when you just eat what you want because it's a celebration and get all this nice food, and obviously you're drinking alcohol and all of that stuff. I felt guilty every time I had a drink or ate some cake. I made my birthday cake last a week and a half because I didn't want to go over my calories from it. I mean, it's all in good, counting calories, making sure that you're staying healthy, eating the right thing, but I was badly obsessed with it. And I remember quite a lot of people were starting to get really worried about me, and when it finally kicked into my head was probably when I found a lump on my rib cage, and obviously I got really worried, like we all did, finding a lump. You think the worst instantly, but because it hurt, it didn't really make sense for it to be that. And I went for an ultrasound, and because my mum works at the hospital, she knew the doctor that was doing it. And as soon as I walked in the room, he actually just stopped and asked me if I actually ate anything, ever, if I eat food. And I was a bit taken aback. I was like, I'm not that skinny. Come on, don't be stupid. And actually, it was that ultrasound that I had when that's what gave me a kick up the arse for that, because I basically had got so skinny that you could see the irregularity between the size of my ribs. So basically I just naturally have one rib that sticks out quite far, but where I'd lost so much weight, you could see it clearly, and it looked like there was something wrong with me. And the fact that I realised it was something, and he was saying it's kind of bad for my health and putting me in danger, that's when I knew I had to change something. And looking back on the pictures now, it's a lot of people, and even I agree, that I don't think I look too skinny, but I was so unhealthy, you could see where it looked wrong, if that makes sense. And the thing is, that's not even where the story ends. From that, I went into this phase of binge eating, because where I'd starved myself for so long, I just wanted to eat everything. I was refeeding my body. So I went from having 200 calories a day to having 5,000 a day. I was eating everything in sight. I was eating cakes, I was eating chocolates, I was eating, when it came to Easter, it was insane. I made myself sick, but when I was refeeding, I was still working out for 4 hours because I wanted to get rid of the calories, because yes, I was refeeding myself, but then I was feeling guilty for doing so. And I think it got really bad, and a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine actually, from college, used to actually tell me off because she knew what was going on. She knew what the doctor had said to me, and I would get into a habit of binging the night before and then trying to starve myself all day the next day because I felt bad and that I shouldn't eat, but then going home and binging again. And she used to have a go at me at college for not eating. And yeah, I just got into this long cycle of just purging, if anything, on food, and it was so bad. It made me feel so ill. I was sluggish. I got unhealthy. And when things other stuff happened in my life, and I started to go out more, clubbing and drinking, and I actually became very dependent on that. So not only was I binging and purging on food, I was doing the same with alcohol. And that made me really unhealthy and really sick. I became very dependent on it in the summer of 2019. So anyone that knew me then, I'm very sorry that you had to witness that, because it wasn't a pretty sight. It was I can't actually remember a sober day of that summer. And I know that probably sounds normal for my age, but like it got to a point. It wasn't like where I was invited out quite a lot. I mean, I was. It wasn't like parties and stuff like that. It was I was looking for a reason and coming up with places I can go for an excuse to drink, and then binge eat, and then blame the binging on the drinking and so forth. And I just became so unhappy with myself because I hated what it was doing to my skin. My hair got really unhealthy at that, and that happened to me as well when I wasn't eating much. As my hair became very dull, weak, and it broke quite a lot. My hair's like my pride and joy. I get pissed off with it, but it's my pride and joy. Luckily it's all grown back now, like grown properly, stronger. But yeah, it's just it did a lot of damage to me, to my body. And I hated the fact that the drink was making me gain weight as well. So again, I punished myself for that. But I punished myself by drinking because I thought that was the only way I could deal with it. And that's how I dealt with a lot of things that were stressing me out. Like I would go and drink. Instead of eating, quite a lot actually, I would skip a lot of meals to drink instead. And that actually stopped. Like I finally started to get myself better. I would probably say by about December last year, January this year. So yeah, just as I finally start to figure things out, we go into lockdown. Great, well, I'm literally stuck with my fridge and nothing to do. But yeah, I would say that's probably when I started to try and clean my act up, and I just tried to start eating intuitively. I tried to stop drinking as much. Like I went out, but like I am that person that'll go out clubbing to dance, and I won't drink. Like I'm a sober clubber sometimes, depending on the mood, depending on who I've seen that will go there that night. Depends on how much I need to drink to stay there. But yeah, I actually went back to my Slimming World diet for a little bit. Started exercising. So when lockdown hit, that was it was my goal really, to kind of get healthy, get back into shape. And it worked. I did get into shape. Well, in my opinion anyway. I'm not talking like abs for days here, we're just talking a little bit of tonnage. But yeah, I was kind of happy. I was eating what I wanted. I was eating the right things. Like, I was eating, like, indulging in moderance. And I actually gave up drinking over lockdown as well until I went out in, I want to say July. I went March to July without drinking. I was meant to go to Dublin before lockdown to learn how to become a bartender, which would have involved a lot of drinking. But yeah, no, that got cancelled. And yeah, so I drink. I don't drink at home, really. It's a very, very rare occasion that I drink at home. I only drink if I go out to drink. I'm not very good at holding it in moderation. I mean, I can. I just decide not to. London Cocktail Club do way too many good drinks for me to do that. But yeah, I went to hospital in like September time because of my appendix and stuff like that. And basically, when I got ill, it made me feel really shitty for a while, and I stopped exercising, and and my diet got messed up. So I started to lose, obviously, the tonnage, lose the muscle, lose my progress, and again I started to become really unhappy. And recently I basically would try to control my calories again. I got back into that habit, especially when I went to a wedding in Belgium recently. I say recently, it was a couple of months ago now. And to try and fit into my dress, I did like 2 weeks of like extreme dieting and working out just so I could get into these dresses. And even when I wore them, I still wore the Bridget Jones pants. I own way too many of them. And I still felt rubbish because you could see the bump in my stomach, which nearly everyone's got. It's a natural thing. Like, I'm self-conscious of it, but I'm learning that it's your organs, man. It's kind of there to protect. But yeah, my brother actually introduced me to the diet I'm on now. I don't enjoy it. I hate it. But it has made me become... I tell you what, it's made me become more self-confident in myself. I don't look at weight anymore. Like, I did get into a habit of starting to weigh myself again, and recently I haven't done that because where I've been exercising again, which I hate because I am lazy and I hate exercise. I hate moving. Like, if someone can invent a diet where I just eat cheesecake and don't move and lose weight, and I'm not even just lose weight, just, yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, obviously where I'm gaining muscle, the weight, the scales aren't going to be right. And obviously that water retaining and fluctuations, I just couldn't be arsed with it. And so I kind of go on how I feel, how my clothes feel, how I think I look, that sort of thing. When my brother's come back to live with me again, he's actually said it's and because it looks like I've actually lost weight. Sorry, that looks really dodgy. That's my unicorn slipper. And he sees me every day, so something must be working. And that's the keto diet. I started doing that. Had to restrict my carbs to 25 grams a day at most, like net carbs. And oh my God, it was so hard. I hated it. I felt like shit. Like, I like chocolate too much for that. So what I did is I've started to raise my carbs, and I tried to just stay around the 50 gram mark, and if not, I tried to just stay under 100 grams. And it's kind of working. I don't like it because I'm not eating as much fruit, because like fruit is obviously high in carbs. It's not that I'm like great on that side, but I'm eating things like I missed because they were too high calorie or too high in fat, and I'm like, there's pros and cons to it. And at the moment I sit at around a size 10. Some shops I'm like a size 12, so I'm alright. My head still looks big though. I feel like I'm just gonna have a big head no matter what I do. It's these. I can't get rid of these chubby cheeks. Okay, sounds like my dog just stacked it. But yeah, and back to now, I do feel I'm still not that self-confident in myself. I do have issues with it. Like, I do still get upset over it. Not as much as I did. And like, I know it's bad to say, and it's a full disclosure, and that's the point of this, is that my brain would always, I'd rather look how I did when I was unhealthily skinny than I did when I was overweight. And for me, I feel like that's from social media influences, like when I'm sat there on Instagram and I see people like Demi Rose and just any sort of fitness model, and like, oh, I don't know, like Addison Rae and people like them, and I'm just like, how? Like, yeah, I could look like you, but I can't be bothered. But then it makes me feel shit about myself because I'm not pulling my weight. And I don't know, it's one of those things. It's like, I saw it earlier when I was on Instagram. There was a bigger girl who was doing makeup, and she was wearing a crop top, and there were comments like, maybe lose some weight first, blah, 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 blah. This isn't body positivity. This is being unhealthy. Stop promoting obesity. And I'm like, this is the issue. Like, she's comfortable in herself. Leave her alone. Like, what I need to learn to install in myself, and I'm trying my best, and I think everyone needs to know, is no one's judgment or no one's opinion should ever be the influencer on what you look like, on how you feel about yourself. It's like, no one should have the ability to control and manipulate the way you want to look. And a big insecurity for me is like, when I'm out, I'm like, oh my god. Like, if I'm wearing, say, like a crop top, I'm like, oh my god, everyone's looking at me like, they're probably thinking, why is she wearing a crop top, cover up, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's none of their business. Like, if I want to wear a crop top, I want to wear a crop top. Like, this is a crop jumper, but I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath it. I probably just flashed everyone, sorry. Yeah. And it's like, a mate of mine actually, I would like some comments actually, if anyone actually wants me to do this, wants me to do fashion videos, because I've got a quirky sense of style. It's 70s, like, I wear a lot of jumpsuits, like, it's quite vintage, and I don't wear a lot of that stuff out unless, like, I'm clubbing. I wear a lot of flares clubbing, which might be a bit weird, but I don't care. Like, I have quite a lot of I've got a few 50s dresses and things like that I would wear. Like, I want to wear it, I'd love to be able to wear it, but like, I feel like people are judging me, and that's something that I need to change. It's me, and no one should ever have this power to make you scared to be yourself and to accept yourself. So for me, a big thing in lockdown that's helping me is I follow a lot of body positivity things, and what's interesting is I've started to watch a lot of tarot readings as well, which you're probably thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, like, excuse my language, but come on now. And they've actually made me feel great. Like, I feel happier, like, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, like, people go through worse than this. Like, the holidays I've regretted, like, I went to Italy and didn't eat gelato because I was afraid that I would gain weight from it. Like, who does that? And I'm like, experiences that I'm missing out on just because I'm scared of gaining weight. It shouldn't happen. And at the end of the day, there's people that are battling cancer, there's people that are paralysed, they're in accidents, people that are starving in different countries, and I've got the opportunity to experience all of this and to go out and wear a crop top and be happy with the way I look and celebrate it, and I just don't. And I just try and remind myself of that, and not to guilt trip myself, because that's just a whole other punishment. But I just do it just to make myself realise how lucky I actually am that I'm to look like this. Like, and that's not even bigging myself up. Like, this is me, so I'm just trying to learn to accept it, and everyone else should too. And that's my little rant about my life and how I've got to the stage I'm at now. And also, I will add, I'm very self-conscious about these glasses. They're massive, aren't they? Like, I would never wear glasses and hoops because everything's just too big, but we move. And that's that. So, yeah. So that's my rant about body image. Again, if you would like me to do those fashion videos, then let me know. I won't be doing makeup videos, which I've said before, because I don't wear makeup other than these mascara. Oh god, look at the bags under my eyes. And that bit of foundation to cover the volcano that's on my chin. Yeah, if there's anything you want me to do, talk about. If you want me to follow this video up with anything, then let me know. And yeah, just be happy with yourself, because everyone's beautiful in their own way. As long as you're comfortable, it doesn't matter. And that's something I'm learning too. So this isn't a lesson on how I've changed my life and I'm happy with everything. I'm still struggling, but I'm getting there. And in this lockdown, I understand that everyone is a bit scared to go back to the snacks and gain weight. But I'm like, if that's the way you cope, okay, it's not the healthiest coping mechanism to rely on food with stress, but at the end of the day, who actually cares? Everyone's in the same boat. And I know there's loads of people like, oh, work out at home, do this, do that. And I'm like, if you don't want to, you don't want to. Like, if you want to wait for when the gym opens, you wait for when the gym opens. It's your life, it's what works for you, and you should never, ever let anyone judge you for the way you cope with things. So, I'm going to go and eat some chocolate and binge watch Christmas films. And I don't care that it's November, because that's how I want to spend my lockdown, and no one can tell me no. So there we go, that was my discussion. Sorry for it being so long, but I feel like those things had to be said, and I feel like I had to share that from my point of view. So yeah, hopefully I haven't scared anyone off or annoyed anyone, and people enjoyed this video, and I'll probably be updating with something boring next week. I don't know. Any topics that you want me to mention, maybe suggest it in the comments. I know Charlie also wants me to do baking videos, so if you're interested in that, then let me know and I will do that. Yeah. Stay safe for everyone. Stay happy. Eat chocolate, but if you're allergic, find something else that's great. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.